Yeah.
We are back. This is the third episode for the week. And this is K, this is C. And we are here doing Militia Uncut. This is going to be a little more serious, I guess. You know, kind of get in your bag every now and then. I think it's healthy. Me personally, I think it's healthy. I get in my bag more than most. Don't know how healthy that is. But I'm still sane. So, here we go. I'm gonna let C take this one, and he's just gonna talk to y'all for a little bit, and I'm gonna chime in every now and then with moral support. Yep.
Well, speaking of morals, that's what the fuck we're gonna talk about. So, off camera, me and Kay had a discussion about ethics versus actions. After a lot of the bullshit that I've been through, and knowing how a lot of that shit turns out, I have chose to not take part in certain actions. But as far as ethics are concerned, I still look at things the same way I used to. I still feel the same way I used to about a lot of stuff. I just choose not to act on some of those feelings not because they're wrong, I just don't feel like dealing with the consequences. And I said that I feel like that's a problem because I compared it to rescuing somebody out of a burning building. It's like physically, you run into the building, save that person, make sure they're good, and that in itself is a good action. But I feel like if you did all that for a fucked up reason, it kind of fucks up the goodness of that action. Like, if you did all that just so you would get on the news and be famous and get rich and all that, then I feel like that, tarnishes the actual action. I feel like it's really more on a religious kind of mind frame. I feel like you can do good things or choose not to do bad things, but if your reasons behind those choices aren't good, then it makes the action ungood. So me and Kay were having a conversation because he said that he is trying to live on a higher, what was the word you used?
Walk on a higher path or whatever.
Yeah. And I replied with, that's good, because I feel like my path is it's either right here or it's slowly getting lower. And that's because actions-wise, I haven't done anything wrong. But the reasons that I'm not doing anything wrong is really because I told myself I wouldn't. I don't have a problem with doing anything. And if I felt like I could get away with doing them, then I would probably do them. So I feel like I believe, and I don't really talk about my beliefs in God that often, but I believe that God doesn't look at actions, he looks at the heart. I believe that you can do a whole bunch of good stuff, but if your heart is trash, well then you don't make it in. I believe you could go your whole life without doing bad stuff. But if you're actually a bad person to your core, guess what? You don't make it in. So I looked at it like, yeah, I have not done a lot of the shit that I used to do. But I'm no different. I still am just as fucked up as I used to be. I just told a whole bunch of people that I wouldn't do certain things, so I chose not to. But that doesn't say anything about my morals, my ethics, my soul, none of that shit. So that's the conversation we had.
Now, my question to you now.
How do you feel about that?
Yeah, now me coming back into it, my question now to you, especially with you and your psychology background, for you to make that change, what would it take on your part? What kind of effort would it take on your part? Because it's you're the type of person that sees the problem, knows it's a problem, is sometimes we'll know exactly what to do to change that problem or fix that problem, and you still won't do it.
This is true,
and
I'm known for that.
And it's like
very good at that.
And it's like it's like watching somebody trip at the finish line. It's like, bro, you right there, and you have the potential and promise to do certain things and be a certain type of person, and sometimes it's like it's hard for me as your cousin, as your friend, to be like, what do I do? Because I've always tried to keep you on a certain path and try to be there for you and support you and be that like good angel on your shoulder to be like, hey, you might want to ease up a little bit. But I also,
the reason I got into music was because of him. I was perfectly fine doing what I was doing back then.
Right. But it's like I also try to let you be you because I know your background, I know your situation, I understand you more than most. So it's like I let you decide your own path because you're a grown person just like me. You can make whatever choice you want to make. I'm just going to tell you what I think you should do. And whatever you do is what you choose to do. And I'm not going to be a part of the bad decisions. But I'm all for the good decisions. So it's like when it comes to that, I worry sometimes because I'm like, do I just let him continue on this path, or do I just kind of leave you to your vices? And it's weird because it's like I don't want to make a person change, but it's like if fixing the ethics part is what you actually want, then it's like let's get you there. But it's like sometimes I wonder, like, do you really want to fix the ethics part?
Because that is a little like that doesn't even I might, but this for once, or I just haven't really thought about it that deeply. I guess I am good at analyzing myself and figuring out what I'm going through, but there's no real way to fix somebody's ethics, really, because at least not in a psychological kind of way, because it's like it's how you view things. You're talking about changing the way somebody looks at things, and with certain things, it's easier to do that. But just how I look at certain things is like, I don't know. I don't know how I would change that because
I'm the same way on the other spectrum. Like, there's certain things about me that like I've adjusted over time, but like the core of me hasn't really changed. Like, there's certain things that I don't want to change because it's like,
and it's like, I mean, I guess it's basically like, and this is a funny example because it's basically like being an alcoholic, which I actually am one. Well, used to be one. But see, even saying used to be is weird because it's like, if you go to AA, which I have, you learn that, like, you can be an alcoholic. Once you go through the steps and all that shit, and you're, like, recovered, one of the things is you're not supposed to be in that environment. You're not supposed to be around bars or people drinking or doing any kind of drugs or anything. So you stop. You do all that, and so you don't drink anymore. But you're still an alcoholic.
Right.
Because it's like, well, if you're in that situation, then you can fall right back into that. You're not fixed.
Yeah.
You kind of just avoid the problem so that it doesn't become a problem. It's basically what I'm doing. I don't hang around certain people. I try to stay as busy as possible so that I don't even really have time to do anything that would trip me up. That's what I mean by my actions are better. But I'm still the same person. If given the opportunity and knowing that there were no real bad consequences, I would do it again in a heartbeat. So it's just like there's no real way to fix it, even if you want to. It's like, yeah, I wish I looked at things a little bit differently, but it's just I don't. There's certain things I just don't see a problem with. I wish I did. I don't. I don't know how to fix that.
Yeah.
I don't know anybody that knows how to fix that. Like, even if I was trying to treat somebody and they came to me with, let's say, a drug problem.
Mm-hmm.
My first thing would be identifying why they turned to drugs in the first place. If not my first thing, one of my first things would be identifying why they turned to drugs in the first place. Once we identify that, we'd probably talk about how your addiction affects the people around you. Look how hurt they are when you do this and do that and do this and do that.
Mm-hmm.
And the third thing, and this is not really in order, I'm just saying 1, 2, and 3, but
yeah,
these are the things that as a psychologist, as a psychiatrist, that I would try to fix in somebody, or not fix, but point out to them so they can get over their problem. Then one of the last things, the next thing, whatever, would be look at how it affects you. Look at what it does to you. Do you like the kind of person that it makes you? And once we've identified the problem, we've talked about how it affects other people, how it affects yourself, by that time, hopefully, the patient would say, yeah, this is something that I definitely want to change. And one of the ways we change that is we try to take you out of situations where those things are available.
Mm-hmm.
We try to get you from the people that might have caused you to want to do that in the first place. And we try to give you something else to focus on. A lot of the times it's religion. A lot of the times when you see somebody in recovery, they've basically replaced one addiction with another.
Right.
It's just religion is a more positive addiction, because whether you like religion or not, you can't deny that religion it doesn't really hurt unless they're in a fucking cult or some shit, but that's different. As long as they're not in like that kind of situation, religion doesn't necessarily hurt anybody. So if you're addicted to worshiping a god, that's better than addicted to something that could kill you or cause you to kill somebody else.
Exactly.
But like I said, I've done that to myself already. I don't really be in my neighborhood that much. I don't really hang around those people that much. And the reason that I chose to chill on a lot of things is because I saw how a lot of those things were hurting the people that were around me. That doesn't actually change how I look at them. Just like a drug addict. If given those drugs again, they'll probably relapse. An alcoholic's not supposed to go around bars. Why? Because he's not fixed.
Yeah.
You're just avoiding the things that could make you slip. Same situation with me. I can avoid a whole bunch of shit that might put me in certain situations. That doesn't mean I'm actually different.
Right.
That's kind of my problem. I would want to look at things a certain kind of way, but I don't know how to make myself look at things that kind of way. I just don't. I'm perfectly fine with all the shit that let me not say perfectly fine. Some of those things I regret, but a lot of the things that I regret were a means to the end, and the end I actually enjoyed. So I don't know how you would fix that. I don't know how I would, even if it was somebody else I was trying to help, I don't know how I would fix them. I could help them not get into trouble, but I can't fix them. It's not really...
Well, if you can't do that, then I feel like you're doing the best you can with the situation that you have.
I agree to that. I think I'm definitely doing the best.
Yeah.
Like I said, my actions, I haven't done anything wrong. Well, let me not say that. But I haven't been as wrong as...
There you go.
I usually am. So it's like, I'm doing as good a job as I probably can. But that doesn't make me feel like a better person, because morally and ethically, I don't give a fuck about none of that shit. I'm just not doing certain things because I told enough people that I'm not going to do those things, and I keep my fucking promises. It's one thing about me. If I promise you something, I might not do it right away. But if I promise to do something, I will do everything in my power to keep that promise.
So then I'm going to ask you, for you and me's sake, and just for the audience watching, in your heart of hearts, which is something people say, it's a term, you know that, to your core, in terms of like actions in your heart or whatever, do you feel you're a good person?
That's a good question.
Like you do you believe that you are a good person?
I believe I'm a good person to certain people.
Mm-hmm.
Because, and that kind of goes back to the way I look at certain things too, because I've done some people very, very wrong. And then there are some people that I'm like 100% I'll die for. I will say the people that I've done wrong deserved it. But, eye for an eye, it's not really
right.
Two wrongs don't make a right, all that bullshit. So it's just like, I've done a lot of really bad things. But they were to people that have also done really bad things. I've also done a lot of good things to the people that deserve the good things that they got. So, I don't know. I really don't know. There's a couple of things I regret doing. There's a couple of things that I feel like, how could you really be a good person if you did that? But then I see other people and I'd be like, oh no, he's really a piece of shit. Like, he is a fucked up person. Like, that nigga's bad.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm just like, I'm better than him. But being better than a real piece of shit doesn't really make you a good person.
Right.
So it's just like, I don't know. I have a whole bunch of people that'll be like, yeah, he's mad good. But then I have a whole bunch of people that'll be like, no, that nigga's evil. That nigga's horrible.
Do you ever wrestle with yourself about the bad things you've done?
I used to a little bit. No, that's not. Let me not lie to you. I wouldn't call it wrestling, because it's never like I fought it, or a lot of it comes. I feel like we've had this conversation one of these episodes. A lot of it comes in my dreams. I have a lot of nightmares about certain things.
Yeah.
There's certain things that I would take back if I could, but I can't. So I just chalk it up to some means to an end. It's some shit that I had to do to get to where I wanted to be. But wrestle with it, no. I don't fight with it. It's just sometimes sometimes I'll daydream and be like, oh shit, I really did that. Damn, that shit shouldn't have happened. But it's a passing. I don't let it bother me too long. That's why I don't call it wrestling. It's like, but I did it. I can't take it back. And I mean, shit, it happened.
And that's how you come to terms with it?
Basically.
Because you know you can't.
Yeah, it's like, I can't fix it.
Now, okay. Now, here's that thing, right? Remember last week we was talking about the time travel and stuff. If you had the opportunity to fix it, would you?
I don't think I would.
And why not?
As much as it bothered me to do certain things, like I said, it was a means to an end. If those things didn't happen, other things wouldn't happen. And the things that came from those things, I needed those things to happen at that time. Like, it was certain things that it was just like, if those things didn't happen, I don't know where I would be right now.
Got it.
So it's like those things, a lot of those things might have saved my life. There's a certain amount of savagery I had to do for people to not fuck with me. Certain things I had to do for people to be like, oh no, that nigga's different.
See,
so
but that's why I said what I said to D in one of those episodes where about like when it comes to regrets, because in the grand scheme of things, I think I feel the same way about you, where it's like I don't have much regrets because the long game will show me that all those things lead to something, even if you don't like you said, even if you don't like the means to that end, it's like that end serves a purpose.
Yeah, I needed that
and
end
you
to
wouldn't
happen.
And you might not have reached that end if you went through a different means.
Right.
It's literally endgame. It's like in Avengers. It's like, yeah, there's 14 billion ways that this can happen, but only one way gets you to this ending that you're looking for. You can have different means, but if you change the means, you change the end.
Mm.
So it's like you kind of just have to go with what comes. And that's why I don't really have many regrets. I only have really two. And one of them, which is really weird to say because I've never said it, but just now in my head, one of them now, I don't feel as bad about anymore. And I
think I know which one.
And it's weird. And it might just be because of where I'm at now.
Like
literally right now.
Because if that hadn't happened, you wouldn't be
I wouldn't,
here.
Yeah. So. And then I have to believe that this, now again, the jury's still out because this is still a new whatever. But if this turns out to be the ending that could be something big, then it's everything happened for a reason because that was supposed to. Now, personally, I do still regret it, but it's just I don't.
It's if I could.
It just doesn't hurt as much anymore.
It's if I could have gotten here without doing that, would have loved it.
Exactly. That's literally what it is.
But that's not the case.
Yeah.
To get here, I had to do this. So I can't, even if I had the chance to change it, I wouldn't change this because if I changed this, I probably wouldn't get here. And I really, really like being here.
Right.
So it's
and I think honestly, if I had the utmost level of maturity, going back to last week's episode, I feel or last week's episodes, whatever topic it was, if I had the time stone, at first I was thinking about would I go to the past or would I go to the future? And I had said, well, I don't know if I said it in the episode, but I had said to myself, and I told Elle, I was I would want to go to the future and just see what's ahead of me. And if it's a future that I feel I need to worry about, I might make some changes.
That's probably what I would do.
Or if it's a future that that can give me a sense of peace where it's yeah, you're going through a lot, but this is where you end up eventually. I'll be you know what? It's kind of like you said. The ending is kind of cool, so let's just go through the memes right now.
Let's go through this book.
Because if it means that I'll end up right here, then let's just do what we got to do. Yeah. And it all serves a purpose. And I can just be you know what? Life's going to be okay. Because I've seen the future, but we're not meant to do that. But I feel if I had the time stone in terms of what you were talking about now, in terms of means and ends, I would like to see the different possibilities. If I had made a different choice, where would that take me? And just to know where I could have had it, if I had the maturity to accept it. Because there's also the possibility that if you went a different means, you also could have had a better ending.
That is true.
And it's can you live knowing that you could have had a better ending, but you have to settle with the ending that you got because these are the means. We're saying ends and means. I hope you're all following along. We're saying it multiple times.
You guys gotta follow.
But it's I feel if I had the utmost level of maturity to accept whatever would have happened, I would like to see the different possibilities. Had I done this or that, what would have happened? And if I can watch it and know that I can't change it, it won't allow me to go back, but it's you see what path could have happened. Mm-hmm. I feel I would like that. I feel that might give me a sense of closure to certain things. Not that I haven't. I feel I'm in a place now where I've made peace with damn near everything in my life. Yeah. But it's it would have that sense of real finality. It's oh, that's what would have happened. Okay. And
I can live with that.
Yeah, I can live with that. It's It's just for the people who can't live with that, that's when it turns into a bad thing. But I like what I have now. So it's I can live with what I didn't have because I like what I do have. Yeah. And what I have now is enough.
I see that.
Yeah.
I agree with that.
So, that was kind of cool. Yeah. I think that's a good place to wrap it up.
We didn't really hit the 30, but I think that's it. And personally, I gotta go do some more memes real quick. So,
let's hope the ends justify those memes. Let's hope it all works out.
Well, these are good memes. I gotta go take care of my daughter so that she can be a well-developed, law-abiding citizen, person in society, and shit.
And at the very least, that's what you can do. If you don't change that, you can just shape her.
I can make her a good person.
Yeah,
that's all I got.
what would you do with your time and your ends and your means and all of that extra stuff? Tell us your story. Or talk about your story with your friends and family. You know, TED Talk.
Unless you're boring. You just kill yourself.
Whoa! I might just edit that out. I'm not even.
Come on, that's how you end it. That's how we're supposed
That's
to
how you ended. That's mad weird.
Like I said, when it's just me, my episode's gonna be hilarious.
Yeah.
You don't know what you guys do. You guys
I swear
want
he's
me
a good
to
person.
be a whole,
I think he's a good person. I might be wrong, but
I want me to do a whole 7 episodes by myself. Do you know what the fuck I'm gonna?
Yeah, it's gonna be wild. But I'm gonna enjoy that week off though. So, like we said, just like, comment, subscribe, enjoy. Oh wait, she just. All right, I'm about to. Yeah, I gotta go. All right, see you.